Welcome to Women's Wrestling Fan Award,
the 2021 edition. Yay!
Welcome everyone to Ring the Bell. This is Diaz.
And the Sriracha Muchacha, Paloma Star.
You're blinding me. You're beauty. You're sparkling.
I'm so shiny. Low-key, this is like the first thing that I could find that was accessible. I was like, I hope this is not too much. But then I realized, you know what? It can never be too much here. I'm all for it.
Never. So we are here to announce the winners of our annual Women's Wrestling Fan Awards, presented by both Diva Dirt and Ring the Bell. And how many votes did we get this year? We got even more than last year.
Really?
Yes.
How many votes did we get?
So we got 55,452 votes.
Wow, that's impressive.
Cool. This has been all you guys, so you submitted the nominations. It's also you that's choosing the winners too.
Yeah, so don't get mad at us if your favorite didn't win. Get mad at you guys.
Shall we begin?
Let's go. Let's jump right into it.
The first category is Feud of the Year.
And the winner is Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair.
Yes!
It was amazing. I mean, to have that WrestleMania main event match, was just like the cherry on top of a great feud. Definitely built up both women up, if that's even possible for Sasha at this point. But I think this feud really solidified Bianca Belair as a star and what she can do.
That stare down before the match started, that will go down to history as one of the most coolest moments.
For sure.
For me, one of my other favorite was Deonna Purrazzo versus Mickie James, because who can forget that barn fight? Deonna almost killed Mickie James. And the fact that it all started from the whole empowerment,
Yeah.
I think it also has a really good meaning.
I love whenever different feuds can go to different companies. I mean, obviously you can't do that in WWE, but it's also really cool when other people can do it. Start at different ones or show up at different ones and kind of further the storyline more. Next category is Best Gimmick.
And we've got Dead Bod Demigod announcing the winner.
What's up, you guys? It's your dad bod demigod Joey Mayberry, and 2021 has been a complete whirlwind for me, from hosting my own show here on Ring the Bell to joining the Golden Era podcast to being named one of the top 200 LGBTQ wrestlers in the world by Outsports. Y'all been with me every step of the way, and this has been amazing. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And being that I know a little bit of something about characters, it is my pleasure to announce that the winner of Best Gimmick of 2021 goes to Alexa Bliss. Uh-oh.
I feel like you got the perfect person to announce this winner, of course. We all know that Joey loves Alexa. I definitely do agree with this, because this is kind of like an out-of-the-box character for a woman to portray, especially in WWE. I feel like WWE has been a little, timid in kind of doing those darker characters for women, especially we've seen those a lot in Impact, and they do it so well. But Alexa Bliss did really good. I think she definitely stepped up her game character-wise. I'm sure it was probably not easy. Her facial expressions and how she would tweak it each time we would see her, I think definitely is a winner for me.
Do you remember that Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss was a thing?
Yes. Oh my god, I thought that was like a fever dream. That's crazy to think about.
You know what? I feel like Alexa Bliss's gimmick, we didn't even scratch the surface of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Charlotte killed it right away. Hopefully she comes back with even darker, maybe?
Ooh, or maybe a little bit less inconsistencies. Did she have makeup magic powers or not?
We need the list of all the different magic powers she has.
Exactly. Maybe we need a spreadsheet of what's her kryptonite and stuff.
From a fireball to mind control.
Making her head bleed black? Is that a thing? Is that a power? Is that a bad thing? I don't know.
Let's go to the next category, and it is Best Finisher.
The winner is Toni Storm. Storm won.
Yeah.
Ooh. I do want to also mention that the runner-up was Bianca Belair, but Toni only won by 44 votes.
Only 44.
It really shows how the power is in the fans and how just 44 people or even 45 people could have turned this, decision around. So it's kind of cool to see that. I always give it up to people who come up with something cool and innovative in wrestling, because so much stuff has already been done. It's kind of hard to come up with something new. And hers is definitely new. I don't think I've ever seen it before. And it looks like one of those things that are once you see it, it's a finisher.
Right.
A bear hug used to be a finish. A leg drop used to be a finish. And now you have all these crazy finishers that you're so is that your finish or not? Because there's so much elevated more more within the moves. But it's kind of cool to have an actual finisher where you know when you see it, you're like, oh yeah, that's it.
I think Toni Storm is cool, even though WWE really tried to make her super lame. Let her do her.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would actually be better off if they just let them do themselves. You know, that'd be so much better for it. Next category is Best Promo.
And the winner is the War of Words on AEW, Britt Baker and Ruby Soho.
Yay! I'm glad Ruby is on here as a winner. I feel like she's definitely had a good year. I feel like maybe 2021 is a lot of redemption years for a lot of women and people in general where, you know, they might have gotten released from somewhere but are now thriving for it. I enjoyed this promo.
I think Ruby's such a great storyteller. She tells such a great story with her face. Remember that moment when she was like,
yeah.
that was a little overdone, but she's such a great storyteller.
She really is. And Britt Baker, I think, can cut a promo, especially a heel promo, so well that it's very impressive to see both of them go at it, because I think like that kind of like combines the best of both worlds, like a really good storyteller versus a really good like natural heel promo.
Right, and I think this got people even more excited about Ruby Soho. Now that she's in the final of the TBS Championship, let's see if she'll be the new champion for AEW in 2022. Next category is the Fashion Icon. The winner isn't Paloma, but for me, you are.
Aw, thank you. I like to accept this award. And the winner is Sasha Banks. Yay! I don't think she looks bad in anything she wears.
All the red carpets, all the appearances, and even her gear, she's been upping the looks.
Totally. It's a little bit elevated and it goes off of what she already has, but always like changes it up a little bit, especially her WrestleMania look, a green and blue look. I really like that one. I mean, it doesn't help. It probably helps a lot that her, you know, her spouse is a seamster for WWE, but I would totally be taking advantage of that too. Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. But she kills it on the red carpet, in the ring. If she's just doing a run-in, she always looks great.
Let's go to the next category. It is Babyface of the Year.
And the winner is Liv Morgan.
Good year for Liv.
Definitely.
I mean, obviously we have to see how the day one goes.
There's lots of like false starts for Liv. I feel like they're like, okay, this is it. Oh, okay, didn't happen. Like, all right, she's taking off. Like, oh, it didn't happen. So I feel like we even saw a little bit of that this year too. I hope she really does win on day one. I think she definitely deserves that. I think a lot of fans actually really want to see that. And I think that just proves is like, because she has been getting more promo time, she's getting more in-ring time, and there's no better way to improve somebody without like giving them have the experience, giving them a chance to improve. And hopefully next year, hey, maybe we'll see Naomi as a winner in this category next year. Next category is Best Heel.
And the best heel goes to the Queen, Charlotte Flair.
I feel like she's always has that like heel to her, even when she was a face or is a face. I always feel like she has a little bit of like heel tendencies, but I don't know if that comes from being a Flair or just like how she carries herself.
I mean, what's really noteworthy about Charlotte Flair is that there are a lot of backstage reports saying that she's actually a real life heel. We don't know if it's true or not.
I think everything's a work. So.
Where does work end? I want to acknowledge Britt Baker.
Yeah, she really captivated that heel character and her promo and what she does. I mean, like, of course you're gonna boo that. It's great, but you also want like boo her not only because like, oh, we hate you, we boo her because you're like, she's doing such a good job, I'm supposed to boo her, so I'm gonna boo her. At least that's how I feel about it.
She was like the AEW's women's division for the whole, not the whole year.
I feel like it should be maybe more spread out, and you know, but I think she definitely has helped be a big pillar of the AEW women's division. Hopefully they add more pillars to it.
Trailblazer of AEW.
There you go.
Let's go to the most untapped potential.
Winner is Dakota Kai. I know she doesn't do that anymore, but I always really liked her cute
We need a shovel now.
Oh, you're right.
What did you think about this one?
I liked it. I appreciated it, but I feel like what else can Dakota Kai do in NXT? I guess become women's champion, but I just feel like she's always like, what's that saying? Like she's always the bridesmaid, never the bride. So I think that's why she did win most untapped potential. But hopefully, I guess it's really just to see what happens next year, and maybe she will be like either best heel or even best face. Like you don't want to be stuck in this untapped potential role. I feel like Naomi was stuck in this untapped potential role for a long time. Hopefully, this untapped potential means that they will tap into it.
I remember this year she was supposed to go to main roster, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, people were thinking that she was supposed to be drafted or whatever, and then she was drafted back to NXT. So maybe that's why people are like, we need to tap this potential.
Next up, best stipulation match.
And the winner is Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa, the unsanctioned lights out match.
I knew this was going to be the winner. It was such a good, solid match. Not only was it solid, but it was like brutal. That visual of Britt Baker with all that blood in her face and her eyes that she so turned it into a t-shirt and merch, where she totally should. I think that kind of like proved it to a lot of people, including me, that Britt Baker can go and is not and is tough and is not scared to actually go there, because she is definitely seen as almost like, oh, she's just the pretty girl that got lucky or could wrestle. But no, she can go. She can wrestle. And not only that, but with Thunder Rosa, I feel like we all knew that grit, that fight was there, and I think this kind of like solidified Britt Baker at that level.
This match definitely put AEW's women's division launched into the next level, the next stage, and I think they're going there.
I wish we had more of that consistency as opposed to just having those big moments. And hopefully there'll be more of these type of matches to come. And it's awesome to see these hard-hitting matches being done by women, because, you know, not too long ago, you never, ever in a million years would see like a woman bleed or even have these type of matches. So it's awesome to see the progression of women's wrestling, especially in AEW.
Next category is Best Tag Team and Faction.
And the winners are the Inspiration.
We do want to note that the Inspiration beat Toxic Attraction by just 65 votes.
That surprised me, actually, because I actually know how much everybody really loves the Inspiration. So being such a close second by Toxic Attraction kind of, I feel like, says a lot.
Toxic Attraction, they are like the face of NXT 2.0.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could totally see why people thought they were the best tag team. The Inspiration, I think just the story of them is just so inspirational.
Oh, I see what you did there.
From like, you know, from WWE breaking them up to getting both a release at the same time. They had an extra hurdle of visa too.
Oh yeah, that's so true.
So they had a lot to overcome. They came to Impact Wrestling and they became champion, which is great.
I'm so glad that there's women factions now, because I remember back in the day there was so many factions and it's all men, so it's great to see women factions or like faction being co-eds and stuff like that, so love to see it.
Just like how Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker must start something new for AEW, I think Inspiration, given their star power going into Impact Wrestling, this is starting a movement too.
Totally. And who would ever thought, I would never guess in the year 2021 that you would have told me that Mandy Rose was going to be a brunette and running shit in NXT. I would have been like, wait, what Mandy Rose? Like, did they change somebody's name to Mandy Rose? But you know, good for her. She's out there kicking ass and doing the best that she can. Next category is Best Brand or Promotion.
And the winner is SmackDown. I think they are consistently trying to put a lot of women in there, so I think that's probably why they were voted. But Impact Wrestling, though.
Yes.
But here's the thing. I think Impact Wrestling is getting there, just like what I said about Inspiration. They just need a better, they need a better network.
Yeah, totally. Because sometimes I'm like, where can I watch Impact again?
Next one is the best event of the year.
And the winner is NWA Empower. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you got to be there. And I just love that you're at all these like iconic all women wrestling events. It's so cool. I wish I could have been there. I actually was supposed to be there. Mickie James made the best of a bad situation. Like, you're gonna let me go? Okay, that's fine. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have even a way better career and put on a show where so many other women can be featured and showcased.
Her historic moment of the women being in charge to throw this event, I think that's so important. And I think that's something that's growing in the industry. More women need to be behind the scenes making decisions. So we saw Gail Kim now, general manager of Impact Wrestling. So there's more female in the power position that is there to help out other women.
Yes.
That's a key point. That wasn't necessarily a point for everyone, but also just how the show was booked. It showed everyone from, you know, almost no-name talent to legends like Awesome Kong and Gail Kim, Jazz, Medusa being there. So I think this was just an amazing event.
And you bring a great point, because I feel nowadays so many wrestling companies are putting out women's shows for the sake of putting out women's shows, because I feel like that's the cool hip thing to do now. But I think the actual change comes within women being in power positions, in making decisions, in being in the booking committees, not just for all women shows, but for shows in general. It's kind of like whenever like authors write for women and they have no idea how to write for them or how like women even think or talk. So I think having a woman in charge at every promotion should definitely be a thing to help out and elevate any women's division. So it's great to see that NWA Empower was like ran by women, put on by women. They had women like backstage agents, producers. Everything was it was awesome to see.
Great.
Hopefully, this is not the last one. There'll be more to come.
Next is WTF Moment of the Year, and we've got the interdimensional Shiro, who's newly a mom,
Yay!
joining us to reveal the winner.
Hello, Ring the Bell fans. It is me, the one, the only, the interdimensional Shiro Moxie Molly, and I am now, as you know, Mama Molly. Special thanks to all of you who gave me well wishes and kind regards on my Instagram. As you know, our little girl, Kenobi Rue, was born October 20th of this year. Well, without further ado, I am here to present 2021's WTF Moment of the Year. And the award goes to Becky Lynch in beating Bianca Belair in 26 seconds. I don't know about you, but I do love myself some Becky Lynch, who I now call the mom as opposed to the man. But I also do love Bianca Belair, and I do feel she worked so hard to get where she was. It was a little frustrating to see her lose the title so quickly and in such a way. Thank you so much, as always, for all the support, and I hope to see you all on a weekly review soon.
Yes, I totally agree. I think that was definitely everybody's reaction was literally WTF when that happened.
I was mortified.
Yeah, I'm still like,
Right.
what? That really happened?
I think this really sticks out because the other moments were just shitty.
Yeah.
But we were so happy when Becky came back, and we were like, wait,
what?
Did Bianca bounce back from this?
I think so, but almost to like, it wasn't needed. Like, that didn't have to happen.
Bianca's still a star. I'm not worried about
totally,
that,
for
thankfully.
sure, but...
That Dewdrop KOD was great.
But did it even really help Becky? Because she's supposed to be a huge heel because of this, but people still cheer her anyway, so I don't know if it even helped anybody. If anything, it just pissed everybody off.
The next category is a breakout star for non-WWE category, and to announce this, we got our partner at Diva Dirt, the editor-in-chief of Diva Dirt. Take it away!
What's up, everybody? Nick here from Diva Dirt, and I'm excited to be here to help present the year-end fan awards for 2021. Diva Dirt is partnered again this year with Ring the Bell, and we're excited for these winners. And we're excited for what comes for women's wrestling in 2022. And the winner for Breakout Star non-WWE goes to Jade Cargill. Jade has had a fantastic first year with AEW, and she has shown great potential. She is currently in the TBS Women's Title Tournament to determine the first ever TBS Women's Champion. So let's see how Jade will do going into 2022.
Okay, all right, Jade Cargill, I see you. I always think she looks like an amazing, like $1,000,000.
Right.
She literally looks like a superhero. And I'm glad that she got to do some more stuff because I feel for a little bit she wasn't like, we'd sometimes see her, and I feel like that kind of happens a lot in AEW. Like, you see one person, and you're like, oh, that's awesome, but then who knows when the next time is that you're gonna see him. So I'm glad that Jade has been used more often, and in a great role too. I think she just needs more experience,
She's also, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know much about the male side, but she is their only star that's homegrown.
I think so.
Right?
That hasn't had really much wrestling experience outside of I think that says a lot. Hopefully there's actually more, because you never know who the next breakout star would be.
But the thing about Jade Cargill though is that she's still green.
Yeah.
She's having a winning streak, but it's time to be in a more serious, serious matches, serious angles, storylines, because she hasn't had that yet. She's a breakout where she's up here. Now let's see if she can continue and remain in that.
Right. The hard part is not getting to the top; it's staying there.
Right.
Next category is Best Match, non-WWE.
And the winner is Deonna Purrazzo versus Mickie James at Bound for Glory.
This just shows you how good Deonna and Mickie, this year was for them. So good. Both had, breakout careers of their own that started from a shitty situation that they made the most of it. Wow, it's that's the theme for this year for everybody.
So the runner-up for this was AEW Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa at only 38 votes.
Wow, these are so close. The ones that are close are, super close.
Oh yeah. Deonna versus Mickie, again, amazing build. They've been building for months. And amazing segments behind the backstage segments. They even had like the pick your poison match,
Yeah.
which was like really, yeah, it was really cool. And the match itself, it did not disappoint.
I think they bring out the best of each other for sure. I think they're both so talented that they could play off of each other so well. And I think they're almost like different levels of it. I think Deonna could be, as she goes on in wrestling, could be at the level that Mickie James is now.
I totally agree. They really brought the best out of each other. Deonna's just a classic, just great wrestler, but Mickie brought in so much emotions and storytellings and like just juicy moments into the match. It was so entertaining. Next category is the best wrestler in non-WWE.
Winner is Mickie James! Yay! Oh my gosh, she's been killing it in these awards, as she should be.
I mean, what a year that Mickie had. From Trash Bag to producing the first ever all-women's pay-per-view produced by women to winning the Knockout Champion. Like, she's done it all.
Totally. She is killing it. And not only is she killing it, but just helping the other women. Like, it's so important to want to make it on top, to like help other people come up with you, not just staying up there by yourself, like slowly on top, bring other people up. And Mickie James does such a good job of that.
Right.
Is not only a trailblazer for the wrestling business, but continues to be able to be a trailblazer for other women.
And she's also doing a GAW TV every week.
Yes.
So she's doing everything.
Busy woman. And being a mom on top of everything. And a wife. Look at her. She's amazing. And she's super nice too on top of it.
So this was the most competitive category of all. So Mickie beat Britt Baker only by 28 votes.
Oh, wow. This is the closest one that we've had so far.
And then under that was Deonna, and the difference between Mickie was only 50.
Wow.
So,
oh my.
All so tight.
That's awesome. Also, did you notice 2 of those people who were nominated are from Impact?
You're right. You're right.
See?
Outside of WWE, there were so many great things that was happening. We definitely wanted to highlight it by recognizing by themselves.
Totally. And I'm glad that we did, because I know a lot of our viewers, which we totally love, yay, are very WWE heavy, but we just want to kind of showcase that there is definitely great women's wrestling outside of WWE as well. So I'm glad that there was a separate category for that.
Next category is Breakout Star of WWE, and Nick will be back to award the winner.
And the winner for Breakout Star WWE goes to the EST, Bianca Belair. It's no surprise that Bianca won this. She's had the best year of her career, best year since she's been called up, and she just continues to shine. She has won the SmackDown Women's Championship. She won the Royal Rumble. She won the main event at WrestleMania. She's done it all this year. She's even won Hell in a Cell. She's doing a great job. Let's see what she does in 2022.
Yes, this was by far Bianca Belair's year, for sure.
She could win Hall of Fame just with this year.
Yeah, totally. Like, just retire after this. Like, what else are you gonna do, Bianca?
What a star-making year! This is insane.
Not only did she get, like, obviously starting off with winning the Royal Rumble, but like all the great achievements that she's had all throughout this year. Not only was she put in those positions to do it, she excelled and by far exceeded those opportunities that she had. She knocked it out of the park every single time. And I was a little bit worried, like, is she gonna crumble under pressure? Is she gonna be able to really go for it? And she did. She brought it. She solidified herself as a star for years and years and years to come on this hero.
And my favorite thing about this is that for years I've heard how amazing Bianca is, just as a person and locker room leader. She deserves everything, which we'll see.
Because up next is the best match in WWE specifically.
And the winner is Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair, WrestleMania 37.
As they should be, for reals.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Like, not only that moment, that seraph at the beginning, which would have been special by itself, but they delivered afterwards. Oh my gosh. I mean, honestly, I would have been fine with just that moment. If that match would have been the shits, it would have been fine. But having those 2 great talent women, there's no way that match was going to be the shits at all. They could have done this with their eyes closed and it still been good. One of my favorite parts of this match was actually the look on Sasha's face after the match.
Yeah.
Like, the look of satisfaction is like, yeah, we did that. We did that shit. Like, of knowing that you gave it your all, you did absolute everything that you could. And while I don't even know if everything went right, it looked right. Everything looked perfect on our end at least, but it was an amazing match for sure.
In all aspects was just so perfect. It was a birth of a new star. The representation was there. It was historic. The match was just so good. I will say the best women's WrestleMania match ever.
Yeah, I think so.
For sure. And the last category is the best wrestler of WWE. 3, 2, 1.
Bianca Belair! I didn't know if you were going to say Bella or not, so I was just like kind of...
E-S-T!
As she should. I mean, how many awards does she win this? It doesn't matter because she deserves them all. Breakout year, breakout moment, breakout match, everything. And this was just renamed 2021 as the Bianca Belair year. Like, oh, how was your Bianca Belair year? It was great. How was yours?
Will legend continue?
I definitely can see Bianca Belair maintaining this momentum that she has going through the next year.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in for the Women's Wrestling Fan Awards. It's been a great year.
It has. It really has. I know it's been kind of like shitty otherwise for everything else going on in the world, but it's awesome to see that women wrestling really thrive in the year of Bianca Belair.
Hopefully, the panini, you said?
Yeah, the panini, the panoramic.
The panoramic will be done. So women's wrestling can kind of continue this momentum and even flourish even more.
Exactly. I can't wait for 2022, not only for women's wrestling, but also I feel like, you know what, I'm going to give it definitely my all that I have for my own personal wrestling career in 2022. And kicking it off right
with Jack.
Awesome. What a year it's been. So glad we got to do this. Always fun to do these. And if you didn't like the winners, you should have voted. I'm just kidding. But definitely let us know what you thought about the winners, what you thought about the close calls that were a lot of other categories were super close to each other. But definitely like to hear from you guys.
By the way, Paloma, where can we find you?
You can find me at Paloma Star on Instagram and Twitter. And you can find me January 15th in Maywood, Illinois for True Privilege Wrestling, where I finally get to wrestle
She posted about it.
I know, I cannot believe it. I totally lost my mind when she posted about it. And she specifically said, can't wait, and tagged me. I'm like, oh my gosh. And DS, where can we find you at?
You can find me at DS Shin on Instagram and Ring the Bell DS on Twitter. And most importantly, Happy New Year to all of you. I'll see you next year. Bye.